Hey everyone, Joe from Cognitive Crypto here for your weekly crypto intel update. Got a couple things for you this week. Start off like we normally do with the Fear and Greed Index. Next, I got an update out of the Celsius network, some interesting on-ramp capabilities. Also, I have one vulnerability alert this week for you out of Metamask. And then finally, just an interesting article that came out about Morgan Stanley and the acceptance of cryptocurrency as payment. With that, I'm going to start off by jumping right into the Fear and Greed Index for the week. Cool. Now that the Fear and Greed Index is up on the screen here, you can see we really haven't had much change over the last week. We're still in the fear phase, so down at 26. Again, last week we were at 27, and I remember talking about the entire month being somewhere in fear and extreme fear. So really what this means is folks are still hesitant to get into crypto as a whole, although being down in the fear area does sometimes and consistently show that you're in some sort of consolidation zone. So it could be a good time to DCA into some of your high-level cryptos or the coins that you think are going to survive in the long term. Because if we come out of the fear phase and start moving rapidly to greed, that's when the price can shoot up quickly, and then you can learn to take profits. Before we move into the first topic for the week, I do want to put a little teaser out there for Cognitive Crypto. We are actively working on an NFT project to raise money for multiple nonprofit organizations that support veteran transitions. So once we have more information on that project and are ready to release it, we'll make sure that the channel is aware. So be on the lookout for that if you want to give some donations utilizing cryptocurrencies to some great veteran organizations. Okay, going into topic number one for the week, talking about a couple updates coming out of Celsius. So last week we had some bad news out of Celsius, which was that US users were no longer going to be able to utilize their earn function and get yield if you were not accredited investor after 15 April. Again, any funds that were put in before 15 April were able to continue earning yield, but anything after would not in the US unless you're accredited. But they did have some good news this week. First, they finally released their US dollar coin on-ramp via ACH transfer. And right now it looks like this might only be in California based on the tweets, but this is the same way that the swaps started out, was they started in California for US users and then slowly expanded by jurisdiction. Why this is important: one, it gives a free on-ramp of US dollar coin. Coinbase does a very similar thing, but you have to remember that when you move funds off of Coinbase, you're going to have to pay the gas fee. When you move funds off of Celsius, and US dollar coin being one of those, Celsius will actually pay those gas fees. So you have a no fee on-ramp system that you can use to get your crypto out into the blockchain. Also, something interesting for US dollar coin is you will have the ability to do swaps. So if you have access to the USDC on-ramp, you also likely have access to their swap function, which means you can buy US dollar coin with no fees and then swap for no fees in many of the blue chip tokens. I personally use this function right now, and I'm excited to have a way to buy crypto without having to pay the fees that you get on normal centralized exchanges. They offer a variety of coins: Bitcoin, Ethereum, Avalanche, Polkadot, and many others that are up in the top tier blue chip tokens. So you should definitely look at getting a Celsius account if you're either trying to get into major coins utilizing US dollar coin very simply, or if you're just trying to get fee-free, no gas fee moves of crypto to get out in a decentralized finance. And second, out of Celsius too, they had another update this week for their Cell token. They are going to be offering that on Huobi Global. The only thing is that will not be available in the US. So really what this means is that international users who can use that system are going to have an easy on and off ramp for the Cell token. This could be viewed as mixed news. Sometimes when you have an easy off ramp, it is easier for people to buy and sell quickly, and then they will sell out of tokens after they make quick profits. So there's potential that this does give some negative price pressure to the coin, but overall, at least it gives a wider net to the global community to buy the Celsius token. So during a bull run, that could be a huge advantage to Celsius users, as opposed to having to use decentralized finance. Like me personally, I have to use Uniswap. And in the US, right now, you wouldn't have any ability to on-ramp or off-ramp Celsius directly. So you're going to have to do that either via Cell Swap directly in the USDC, which you can't buy in reverse USDC to Cell token. So really, you only have the off-ramp through USDC, and then to move it off, or you'd have to go out through Uniswap or another decentralized protocol that offers Celsius. Second, this week, I want to give you guys another vulnerability update, and this one is going to be specific to MetaMask and the storage of your seed phrase on your iCloud. So it was discovered this week that if your Apple account is compromised, and this probably is no surprise, if your Apple account is compromised and you store your seed phrase on your iCloud, then your crypto is at risk. Specifically Metamask, it could be any wallet that you do that. Really, how this is likely going to happen, if it does, it's probably going to come through a phishing attempt. And the one that made Twitter right now said that they had essentially a fake Apple scammer who included spoofing of an Apple Inc. phone number. So when they were called by them, it looked like it was a legitimate phone number from Apple, and were pretending to tell the account user that they had suspicious activity on their account. At this point, the user gave them their two-factor authentication PIN as well as their login information. And once the malicious actor was able to get onto their Apple account, they were into their iCloud, found their seed phrases, and then stole all the money out of their MetaMask in minutes. And the total loss there for this person was over $600,000. So pretty big loss, but it does highlight the importance of protecting your seed phrase. And I'm going to talk quickly about how do you protect yourself. So the first step to protecting yourself against a phishing attack like this is going to be to exclude your MetaMask from your iCloud backup. So you're going to do that. You're going to go into settings, profile, iCloud, manage storage, and then backups. And you'll just take MetaMask off of the ability to use iCloud. Second, you need to treat your two-factor authentication that you set up for your account just like you would a seed phrase or a social security number. No one should need that but you logging in. Not even an official business should need your two-factor authentication, and no customer service rep should ever ask for your 2FA number that you have on your phone, because that's your temporary secret protection against any malicious attacks. Third, you do have the ability to use cold wallets through MetaMask. So if you are using your ledger or your Trezor through MetaMask, this would prevent, if your seed phrase was compromised, any ability for the users to get your crypto. So it may be beneficial to look at using that. Really, you're going to have the same capabilities. You'll just have amplified protection. The only thing that you sacrifice is speed and quickness, because there are going to be multiple steps when you're trying to do approve the transactions on your hardware wallet. So you need to make those decisions on where do you need to have a fast wallet where you can make transactions quickly, or where can you sacrifice some of that time in order to have security. And last is just going to be being proactive. So you shouldn't be publishing or telling anybody in social media about your investments or how much money you made in gains in your crypto, because that makes you an easy mark and a target. It's possible, when someone sees you made major gains, they can engineer a phishing attempt based on everything you have on your Twitter and social media to come after you. And some of those can be very challenging to detect. So those are the many options that you have in order to improve your security and protection. But it is worth noting that you should not store your seed phrase on your Apple account. Always make sure that you keep that in a hard place, written down, not stored electronically, and that'll prevent issues like this from happening to you as well. Okay, last this week, we're going to go into a topic about Morgan Stanley. So Morgan Stanley, which is a major American multinational investment bank, says that crypto is likely to become more widely accepted as a currency in the near future. The reason that you don't really see it used as a currency right now is going to be due to the transaction fees, which a variety of cryptocurrencies are dropping the fees down substantially. But transaction fees, and then really just the inability of stores to be able to accept that cryptocurrency. And that is true for all types of cryptocurrency. So how is this going to happen? So the company Strike, which is essentially a system of buy, sell, and pay with Bitcoin and a couple other functions, is partnering with the Blackhawk Network Holdings, which is like a gift card company and works with stores in order to create payment systems. Is likely to allow stores and restaurants to accept Bitcoin in the future. So two major companies partnering up to allow Bitcoin to be accepted. And they're going to be using a Lightning Network, which essentially allows very low to no fees to happen while utilizing the system. I think what you might see when it comes to fees is that these companies will probably enact similar fees to what you see with their credit cards. So when you swipe your credit card, about 2 to 4% of that purchase, give or take, is going to be going to the credit card companies for setting up the system that operates the fast payments like that. So I wouldn't be surprised if you start to see some minor fees pop up either for Strike or Blackhawk in order for them to build the infrastructure required. All that being said, Morgan Stanley states that physical stores are an important milestone in the evolution of Bitcoin's use and likely cryptocurrency's use as a whole. Ultimately, they do believe that crypto could become less volatile if businesses are able to accept it. And I think that there's probably some truth to that. Although, to me, I think the most likely places that you're going to see cryptocurrency being accepted are going to be in your what I call soft goods or electronic products, as opposed to your hard goods or physical labor businesses, because essentially what you're able to do is you can kind of offset the volatility when you don't have to pay outside users for products. If you have hard goods, you're going to probably have to pay suppliers along the way who then would also need to accept crypto as opposed to US dollars. Or if you have e-products, internal, you can make those products accept the crypto, accept some of the volatility, maybe pay people in crypto who understand the volatility, and it just makes it easier. So, I think you'll probably start seeing it in businesses that can afford the risk or have the ability to accept volatility, which would, again, be those electronic markets or electronic products, or potentially small businesses that are more like side hustles where, it's not the livable income right now that's required. I think once you're talking about needing living income, cryptocurrency just isn't quite there yet. But overall, it's a good sign. Again, having Morgan Stanley mention cryptocurrency as payments and likely seeing it moving that direction, as well as Strike and Blackhawk partnering up, definitely gives some credence to cryptocurrency being a payment method in the future. And hopefully we'll start seeing it pop up, because I'm definitely excited to start being able to use crypto instead of using dollars when I can. So that concludes this week's weekly crypto intel update for everybody. I hope you enjoyed the content this week. If you did, feel free to hit that subscribe or like button for us. And we'll look forward to seeing you next week for more information and updates. I'll catch you guys later.